Hi, Virgo. It's Angela from Grounded Dreamers, and we're here to do your June 2022 Soul Guidance reading, where we focus on certain aspects of ourselves or, areas in our life where we want to see transformation occur. And then we proceed to use the Zen Tarot cards here to give us a path forward and let us get at least one idea of a way to evolve and grow our souls. This isn't absolute. It's not, for sure, it's not predictive. This is taking your inner energies that are current now and finding a way to address things in a transformative way so that we can keep growing and getting better and better. This is what we're here for, right? Okay, so I'm using an oracle deck called Native Spirit here to get our first card, our lead card that gives us sort of a direction or a theme and a topic to focus on for you, Virgo. Okay, remember it's a general reading. We're calling this June 22, but as we know, energy is not constrained by time. And so whenever this shows up for you or you're drawn to it, even if it's, now and then again in 2 months, and again, that's the right timing for this guidance. Okay, so for you, Virgo, I pulled Walking in Beauty. So this is kind of a reminder to tune in to not just the way you don't want to see things yet, right? Not the things that are not going well, but the positive things. This is tapping into the center of your gratitude here by recognizing all the beauty around you, in your environment, in your relationships, in yourself, in your body, in your spirit, all the beauty that really is present at any given time that sometimes we forgo, or we oversee it, or we overlook it because we're so focused on hammering things in, changing things into the way we want it to be, or focusing on something that's negatively drawn, that's more of a lower vibrational energy, which we do as human beings. That's part of what we do. But here we are asking you to focus on those things that do bring joy, that do carry beauty, right? Being out in nature is one of the simplest, quickest ways to do that. Even if you live in a city, big city area, there's still parks, we still have the sky always to look at. And even a sky with dark clouds, there's beauty in that. It shows that the rain's coming, and the rain is transformative, and it helps to shift, the current conditions on the planet. So, and also, when you look in the mirror or when you do your meditation and tune into your inner being, there's beauty there always. We want to, paint a face on it and say, oh, this is what beauty is, but we know it goes much deeper than that. And that's what we're here to focus on for you at this time, Virgo. Okay, so let's look at the Zen cards and let's see what we got. So this first row here is your starting point. This is the point of entry, your first realization, internal support, internal energies that support this vibration. And then the two of those combined create an external manifestation or something to focus on in your daily world that these two energies brought you to, right? Then this bottom card is your pivot. It's the key to moving forward and moving to a new level of awareness, which is represented by these cards up here. And we have a landing point, an internal and external up here as well, okay? And through it all, there's this straight line of sort of the core of your alignment in this topic, okay? Walking in beauty. Let's go, Virgo. Okay, first card that I got, your starting point is past lives. And this means less about actual past life history and more about, in this space, in this reading, more about patterns, old ways, right? Possibly old destructive ways of seeing things and showing up in your life. So to transform from my old self who used to look at the glass half empty, right? We're going to shift this to the glass half full. We're going to find those things in our life that we're grateful for and that cause us to focus on the beauty in life and all the abundance that's around us. So any patterning that you have that you can recognize from your past that was counter to this vibration of recognizing beauty and being in gratitude, this is a good time to pull up those past patterns now so that we can shift them. Okay. I know there's a lot of us that, focusing on, the negative, or I really hate to even label it like that, focusing on the things that don't feel as good, thinking that if we focus on it and wrestle with it and change it, we'll feel better, right? Isn't always the way. And that could be, for some of us, the way we've always done it, but it isn't the only way, right? We could also just acknowledge, yeah, there's some less desirable feelings and vibrations going on. And I'll just acknowledge it and move on, right? I don't have to stick with it. I don't have to get stuck with that energy. I can flip the script there and look for the good stuff, right? Even though that bad, quote unquote, bad thing is still lingering, you could sort of just, change the whole vibration of your energy by choosing to put more of your focus on the gratitude and the beauty around you. Okay, internally, your internal card, yeah, it's supported by this sense of understanding. So I like this. Okay, so we're going to say this is your current self and your past self is beyond these bars, right? You're kind of finding a way to merge the two, right? Or this is you and this represents the good stuff, the beauty, the positive things, the gratitude that's beyond these bars. And what's true is that it feels like we're so far from it that there's stuff blocking us from reaching it, right? These bars, but they're an illusion, right? If you see where they're fading in certain areas and there's an opening here between you and the good stuff, or between you and the old way of thinking, it's all in one, right? It's all combined. It's all of the same energy. We don't have to depict and label things as, this is good, that's bad, or whatever. Just focus on what's beautiful. That lingering energy of things that don't feel as great and the sort of negative things is still going to be there, but we don't have to focus on it. We could converge it all together into one space. And then from there, we focus on, we take a nature walk and we get to forget about some of that for a minute, or we hold our pet and let them, look into our eyes, make eye contact with our pets or our children or our loved ones. And that can wash away, all that uncertainty real easily. So I like this. So you're coming to a place where you can merge it, where you can say, yeah, I used to be this way. I used to look at the glass half empty. And now I'm to see it a little differently. Now I'm willing to let the half empty glass be there, but then for me to also be able to say, hey, there's some full glasses around here too, and I'm going to focus on those as I proceed forward. It brings about just better feelings overall, and your connections with others improve, and just the way you perceive your life. If you take a beauty break there and list all the ways that life brings you joy, that helps you to focus more, and then you get more of that, right? That's how it works. You get more and more of the good stuff. Well, look, you get transformation. This is being able to recognize past patterns and then integrate them into your current state of being, and then focus on the beauty around you. That's transformative in and of itself, right? That shifts your focus. That helps you to see things differently with a new set of eyes and a more positive outlook on what's going on. Because the bad stuff is always, I really hate to label things good, bad, because, that's not very neutral of me, or very, soul enhancing. But as human beings, we label things good and bad. And that stuff that is challenging and perceived as bad is always going to be there. And if it's there, and also what's there is all this beauty around you, within you, in your connections with others, in your pets, in nature, why are we not focusing on that more? Right? The beauty, because it's there for us to absorb. The stuff that's challenging and difficult will be there, and we can continue to deal with it. But if we have more of a positive outlook and more of a gratitude-filled way of seeing things, that heavier stuff becomes easier to process and transform. Okay. Then the key here to moving forward and getting yourself to the next level is the breakthrough card. This is that realization that okay, I tried that, I tried to wrestle with all this darker energy, and I tried to make it better, and I tried to transform it. Now it's time for me to just focus on something good and joy-filled for a little while. And let's see what that brings about. Well, it brings about a new perception. You transform the way you see it. And when you transform the way you see it, you see more of it. You see more beauty, you have more gratitude. And the more you have, the more empowered you become. You get it, right? This is like major third chakra energy here that is saying, I can do this. Like, I get it. I get it, right? The challenges will always be around. I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that I'm going to be living a life with zero challenges or zero difficulties, but I don't have to make that all I think about or all I focus on, right? I can also combine it with some joy, with some beauty, get out in nature, commune, be one with the planet. Like I said, even if you're in the city, find a park, sit by a tree, lay down on the grass and watch the clouds go by. It takes nothing, it takes moments, and it takes very little energy to be able to connect with and be in communion with the elements all around you. Self-empowerment, that's what it brings. Then you get to control how much time you focus on that negative stuff and how much time you choose to focus on joy. You're in charge of that, right? You begin to get that. Then you move up to this next level of awareness. And the starting point there is possibilities, my favorite card. So after your breakthrough, after your personal realization that you're in charge of how you respond, how you feel, and what you perceive, how you perceive things, you're in charge of that. Your vision widens, your scope widens, and you get to see a bigger picture. You get to see the entire landscape. Yeah, you see the little burnt out leaves down there and the negativity and the denser energy that's down there, but you also see the sunlight. You also see the mountain and trees and the green, and you see, that all of it together is working in concert to, bring you these higher perspectives in your life. This is also very similar. It's a very similar imagery here with the beautiful orange, filled sky, and then some of that purple that's going on there, and a big wide landscape view, right? That's nature, that's beauty, that's where life is, right? That's the focus of life. This is where you start to realize, I could widen my lens. I could see the stuff that's challenging and the stuff that's great, and play around with that and let them both be in my experience at the same time. It doesn't all have to be one focus. Eventually, if you can get to where you're only focusing on the good and the beauty, well, you'll be swimming in it, right? But then by then we'll see how evolved you are. You might have evolved yourself off this planet, because the human condition is rife with challenges and darkness and, shadow and difficulty. It's part of how we grow. It's those points of growth that we hit these challenges and have a you know, a little bit of roadblocks in our lives, that's what brings us to be able to expand and evolve. But always being in the gratitude is what gets us there faster, right? Okay, so then internal support to this wider point of view is the fact that you're getting this, you're mastering this, this is the highest you know, energetic space you can hold, is the mastery, right? It's full connection to spirit, always being guided by the divine. This is where you're headed, or this is where you know you're headed. If you start to wrestle with some of this negativity or some of these sort of more tiresome ways of going through our challenges, you know, take a beauty break. You're getting it. You're mastering this. Okay. And then the final card, the outcome, is the friendliness card. You know, this is also one of my favorite cards. I got a lot of favorite cards in this deck, but this is wonderful. To me, in this spread, this is the energy that allows us allows us to hold our place, right? These trees are rooted in place, very pink, very yellow, right? They're distinct from one another, but they're still both trees, and they're still close enough to one another where in the spaces that they connect, they're orange, right? So there is a blending. And for me right now, this is your, the part of you that's focusing on the challenges and the part of you that's focusing on the beauty. And you're moving through life hand in hand. You're allowing it all to be there without fear that, you know, those oak trees are strong and rooted in each of their positions. And neither one of them is really in danger of being pulled or overcome by the other. It's a healthy respect. You know, I really love this card when it comes to relationships, but this is you in relation to your gratitude, you know, your gratitude filled self, right? Your sort of realist self that says, oh, I have these problems and I have this darkness and this is a challenge and the world is falling apart and there's so much bad going on. And there's also so much good, right? There's also plenty of things to focus on that can bring us joy, that can keep that part of us, that gratitude-filled part of us, rooted and strong as well. I love this. This is a perfect outcome for this spread. So we moved from, you know, seeing the patterns that we have, seeing these points of challenge and darkness and negativity that we all have, and finding a way to let them be together, integrate into your experience, so that it's not just that you're focusing on, but you also can allow, you know, the beauty breaks. Sit and play with your cat for a minute and, you know, watch their fluffy tails, you know, fly around, or give your dog a big smooch and see what happens if they lick you, if they lick your face, or, you know, play with your kids, go outside, go to a park and listen to the laughter of the children that are playing, you know, watch the birds fly by in their freedom and their beauty and their, you know, the way they move together and float through the air. Beauty is all around us. And whether you choose, you know, to focus on it and to allow it to be a big part of your experience or not, that shifts the actual experience you'll have in this life, right? Gratitude, beauty, and yes, challenges and growth points and areas where we need to, you know, learn lessons. It's all part of it, but don't lose sight of the beauty as well, because it's there. Okay. All right, Virgo, it was good to see you, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.